on your severe weather station, 1480 WHBC. All right, it is 18 after 7. And we are, I had mentioned a little earlier that it was really tough for me last week when I wasn't on the air, when I heard that Tom Bernabei had passed away, because I just felt the need to talk about him and laugh and smile and, just embrace the person that he was. So I decided that, it was going to be today that I was going to do that and do it with the people who he was closest to in our circle, I'm going to say. And I have Judge Frank Forchione in studio with me this morning. So how are you doing?
Well, we've been struggling the last few days. I mean, it's an honor to be here and to talk about Tom, but, it's just tragic for his family, the community. And next to my father, he may have been the most influential person in my life.
Yeah. Wow, that's saying something.
It is, really is.
So talk about how you met him. How did you come to meet Tom?
I worked with him in the law department, and then I was his city prosecutor for 10 years. I always say I've survived 10 years of Camp Bernabei. And believe it or not, we became very good friends. He enjoyed picking on me. He always called me a punk. We went on some trips together with BB and Kim, and they invited me to Hilton Head. And even when I left and became a judge, he was a commissioner. There is an important decision that I made with really out talking to him.
Yeah. But I mean, that to me is the thing. I met you and him at the same time, right, when he was the law director and you were the city prosecutor. And I was telling the folks that I would go to his office every single day.
Yes.
Because I ran an afternoon beat, trying to get the news stories. And if I would have a question, I can remember just running up to the 7th floor and saying, help me. What does this mean? What is this? And he was so good at explaining everything. One of the smartest people I've ever met.
No question. And he would get frustrated sometimes with some of us. And I'd go, look, we didn't all go to Brown University.
Yes, he went to Brown.
And he hated when I would say that. But no question, He was so intelligent and, just a family that he raised, incredible people.
Yeah, BB's such a sweetheart. And I always love seeing them together, the smiles on their faces, and they just enjoyed life. They really enjoyed life.
They did. And he was a lot fun outside work. People didn't get to see that side of him, especially with me, because he enjoyed picking on me, and some of the things he did to me on trips were a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you brought the donuts. The donuts are in the house. I had been talking about the donuts. In honor of him, you brought the donuts, right?
That's what he would do, and I got here 20 minutes early because if Tom said a meeting was at 7, you better be there at 20 till. Just so many little things. Like he used to just always say to me, I want 40 hours of work out of every, don't cheat the taxpayers. And I think there's some people who could learn from that. Yeah. I always keep that in the back of my mind, just being thorough, being prepared. No matter what case I had, I would run it by him, and he'd always think of that one thing I didn't. And I'd walk out of there like, oh my God, I spent so many hours trying to think of this. But he was also a great friend for advice in life. And every terrible time in my life, during my brain tumor, losing a parent, going through an election, he was always there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was a person that you could just turn to at any time.
Always. He gave good advice. And sometimes I get mad at him, but he just really, and he always called me a punk, no matter who was in front of. Go get the punk. We're a punk.
And you're a judge, Yeah,
Judge Punk. I became Judge Punk. I wonder what he was going to call me when I became Judge Punk. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
And so if you think about the things in all the years, because there were a lot of them, what makes you laugh the most, do you think?
Well, he thought he knew everything. And I got invited to Hilton Head. I'd never been there. And we were on a boat, and I guess the tide comes in, you can get stuck. You know that better than me. Mm-hmm. And BB and Kimmy said, we need to get in. And he's like, we don't need to get in. Well, the boat got stuck. So he kept calling me Gilligan. Gilligan, we got to push it. So we went to push it. And I didn't know how strong the tide was. And it sucked our shoes off our feet. And the boat started moving. We pushed it, and it just sliced up our feet. I mean, really bad.
Oh,
and we got back to the room. And should we get their house stitches? And Tom's like, no, you don't need to see a doctor. You need this. And his thing was giving me 3 shots of Crown Royal. So we got to work Monday. We couldn't wear shoes, him and I. And the mayor came down and goes, look at this. My city prosecutor and law director can't wear shoes because they can't push a boat.
There's a lot of stories like that, isn't there?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I know. And he would come in here on Tuesday mornings for years and years and years, and he always had to drive his grandchildren to school.
Yes.
And so he would bring them in with him and have them sit back behind the glass. And so I saw them grow up.
Yes.
And now they are adults in their own lives and succeeding so well.
They're incredibly successful. And what amazed me was he had everyone wanted to go to dinner with him and BB. You know, politicians, Hall of Fame enshrinees, but Friday night was his pajama party night. And he just made it clear to everybody, Friday night's pajama party night. And, you know, it says a lot about the man that a lot of people didn't get to see.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And when we did that a couple of years ago when he retired and we did the what is your life thing, you know, this is your life, Tom Bernabei kind of thing, and we surprised him. I just remember us talking about, you know, what a workaholic he was and how dedicated he was.
He was. You know, him and I were always there at 7 in the morning. He was very demanding. I mean, and some people maybe couldn't do that. He reminded me of my old school coaches. And he pushed you to be better. He would get on me sometimes. You know, you're better than this, Frank. I've seen better work than this. And, you know, he wasn't big at compliments, which was okay, but I'll never forget when I got elected judge. He drove to my house that night, hugged me and said, "I'm very proud of you." Wow. And that just was like the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't matter what the newspaper said. Even today, when I have to think of something, I'll say, you know, what would Tom say? He always said, do the right thing. Don't worry about if the repository's mad at you, the unions are mad at you. Do the right thing.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's such a wonderful thing. That just brings tears to my eyes because that's the kind of human I always remember is, you know, the guy that would say, "Hey, here's the deal," and had that soft side to him.
He just kept switching jobs. I mean, he was like Frank Sinatra. Every retirement, he would come back with a new job. And when he came to my house to tell me he was running for mayor, I was like, really? But he cared about this community so much. He embraced it. It's just an incredible career of so many different ways and so many different lives that he touched.
And leading SARTA,
you
know, in a really tough time, you think they picked him for a reason, you know?
Yeah, I told you earlier this morning, you know, when I got the call about everything going bad and I got off the phone, I was just numb and felt sucker punched, but I was delusional. I thought, well, Tom will figure a way out of this. He always will. And then you realize, unfortunately, life doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that was kind of how I felt, too. I just didn't really want to believe it. I still don't, but, you know, I kept thinking the same thing. You just have that vision. I have that vision of him. And there are a lot of interviews that I did with him on our YouTube channel that you can go back and check out. But one of the funniest is him sitting here wearing the Massillon Tigers jersey, as he had to do over and over again,
right.
Because Mayor Kathy Catazero Perry.
Right, to have their bet.
That was the bet. And so he would wear it that day, and he'd just, you know, take it in the stride.
I was sitting at the church 2 days ago just thinking about his life, and he served Vietnam.
Yes.
People forget about that.
Right.
I mean, what a courageous thing to do, being, you know, where he was at that stage of his life, and then to dedicate himself to public service, the family that he raised. It was an incredible life. I mean, too short, obviously, but what an impact. And he's someone that'll always be in the back of my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you could come in and
Thank
share.
you for the honor, and God bless BB and Kim and the whole family. They're amazing, and he will be with me the rest of my life.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, 27 after 7. We're going to have Canton's mayor come in and join us in a bit, and also former mayor of Canton and Stark County Commissioner Janet Creighton will be here in a little bit as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We have 32 degrees in downtown Canton.
It's the holiday season, a time for family and friends to gather and give. Bell Stores is making gift giving easy. Right now, Bell